We're standing in the projection booth area of the Appalachian Theatre. Now, you might notice that there are no walls on this projection booth, and that's because they were removed during renovations in 2008. But I brought you up into this space to show you the secret bathroom in the Appalachian Theatre. That's right, the projection booth actually had its own toilet, and there was a very good reason for that. Mr. Hamby and Mr. Winkler, prior to owning the Appalachian Theatre, had also operated the Pastime Theatre, which was located uptown, essentially in the vicinity of the Linney House and the Linney Law Office, across the street from there. Now at the Pastime, that projection booth was also located on the second floor space of the theater, and outside the window of that projection booth, there was a very small marquee. Now, Mr. Hamby and Mr. Winkler had had complaints for years from local residents about the people who worked in their projection booths opening the window at the Pastime Theatre and, yes, relieving themselves onto the marquee located just outside that window. And as a result, Mr. Winkler decided to solve that problem. Now, you might be wondering why somebody would have the lack of couth to relieve themselves out the window from a projection booth. But back then, films were made of nitrate, which was highly flammable, and you had to be present all the time while a film was running to be sure that the film didn't burst into flames and that there wasn't a problem with the film burning up. So as a result, you could be in a projection booth for a very long period of time without the ability to leave if you needed to use a restroom. So here at the Appalachian Theatre, Mr. Winkler decided to solve that problem with a toilet that was located right here in the projection booth. We know that that did cut down on the problem of projection booth employees relieving themselves out the window. That didn't really happen here at the Appalachian Theatre. But it didn't solve another problem. You still had a window, and you still had employees who were not entirely attentive to what was happening with the projection equipment and with what was going on stage. Because this window looked out across the way to the Daniel Boone Hotel, a lot of times the employees here were distracted by the ladies who would sunbathe on the roof of the balcony at the Daniel Boone Hotel. And from here, that was a prime vantage point that we're told people would use while they were working up in this projection booth.